All right, guys, I'm finally coming back with another guide for you guys. This is something that I've actually wanted to do for a little bit, but this is the last and final boss that I actually need in the wilderness, and what better way to show off a video to you guys on the best way to kill Venenatis in 2021. There's a lot of guides out there, and some share some information, some don't, but I wanted to do a really in-depth guide to how to kill Venenatis. It's super simple, safe spottable, you'll take no damage, and in this way you'll actually kill probably the fastest way for a lot of the peers out there and a lot of the main accounts who are interested. So let's get right into all the gear setups and the items you'll need for the Venenatis method. So what I recommend is any type of miter as well as any type of god cape. These are really important for keeping your prey really high and to, conserve as many supplies as possible. I recommend the Ranger's Tunic, the Necklace of Anguish, and the crossbow. The crossbow, of course, is going to be the biggest hard-hitting weapon you need. You do need a 4-tick weapon, so a magic shortbow is going to do. You can't use crossbows, so unfortunately this method won't be able to use that, but I do recommend using the crossbow. It's fairly I won't say it's inexpensive, but it's a great weapon that you can use to kill Venenatis, and you can actually make a ton of profit off this boss, so I highly recommend to invest money into that. Necklace of Anguish will increase your overall max hit for a little bit, and then the Ranger's Tunic, out of the best combination of weapons, using a Robin Hood hat, using a Ranger's Tunic, using Ranger boots, this is the best combination of items that will maximize the total amount of damage you're doing, as well as increasing the total amount of your overall range bonus. As you can see here, we're at 133 attack bonus, which is kind of good. Again, the only other substitution is maybe getting an archer's ring imbued, but I don't want to risk one of my items if I get smited. So, and then if I get like a dragon pickaxe, I don't want to like for sure lose that on death. So out of all the different attempts, this was probably the best combination of items and weapons to use over at Venenatis. And then finishing off, you're going to want the Black D'hide van braces. You can bring anything. I just brought climbing boots because I needed something for my boot slot. And then the one-click teleport, which is my ring of wealth, so I can teleport over. Funny thing, I actually don't teleport to Grand Exchange. I actually teleport to Falador, just so I don't want to see anybody. I don't want anybody to know what I'm doing. So I always teleport to Falador whenever I go bank, just as it's pretty close to the bank, and nobody has to see me run through the Grand Exchange if I'm trying to go over there and I don't want people to see me doing Venenatis, or have an idea. So that's pretty much it for the overall equipment slot. Let's go into the actual items. So of course, for this particular method, I am using a cannon, so you're going to want to bring your cannon, so the entire thing. 500 cannonballs is a good amount for starting. I always bring 2 ranging potions. The boss does have a chance of dropping restores as well as some food, so it's always important to always bring an extra ranging potion just so you can survive a little bit longer if the boss decides to drop that much food, or if you're just killing it really quickly. It's always important to always have extra ranging potions so you can ensure that you're doing the most amount of damage as possible. I bring 2 ranging potions, 7 blighted super restores. Blighted super restores just because they're cheaper than the actual restores in the game. Blighted are only used in the wilderness, so it's really helpful for there. And then an antidote plus plus. The boss does, if it hits you while you're trying to set up the method, it can poison you, so having an antidote plus plus is always important. I always bring Caramon and Sharks just for a little bit combo eat. If I'm getting attacked by PKers, it's always important to Shark Caramon to hopefully not die, and being able to eat like plus 30 something, and then just teleport to house. So I'm actually going to bring, yes, I know it's going to be a little bit cringe, guys, but I'm going to be bringing my Veneon Junior because I've already insured it and I don't have anything to risk. And let's go actually do our first KC over at Venenatis. It's super simple. I'll show you guys what I'm going to do. I'm going to teleport over to the Corporal Beast Lair, and I've actually already marked a lot of the tiles out for you guys, so you guys don't have to worry about this. And I have access to the 1500 total worlds, so as a peer, it's actually not that bad for me. To be quite honest with you guys, full transparency, I don't really get bothered by a lot of PKers. The fact that I'm able to be in a 1500 total world, I know I say that now, I'm going to get PK'd a ton, but it's important to have access to the total worlds, and it's super simple. And I'll show you guys, even if you guys get PK'd, it's so simple to escape. I've been attacked a few times, and it's actually not that bad to escape, so it's pretty simple. So once you get out of the Corporal Beast lair, you pretty much want to run all the way east, all the way to this spot over here, just about to 26 wild. And over here I have everything marked, so I have where you need to be standing as well as where you need to set up the cannon. So the first square right here is your safe spot. You pretty much stand here, and the spider, no matter what, even though if it's nearby, it won't attack you because this is the furthest tile away where it cannot see you and it won't attack you. So always stand here in between while you're setting up until you get to the right spot. So what I like to do is put a little bit of protect from magic on and set up my cannon in this exact tile. I highly recommend, if you guys haven't already, please mark these tiles accordingly. You know, line up the tiles to where mine's at, and you know, do this, and this will be pretty simple. All right, so he's aggroed onto me, which is not what we want. So I'll show you guys the exact way to do it. Always protect magic is super important. I always set up my quick prayers to be protect from magic, and then of course eagle eye, just to have really fast teleport. And then in this particular method, you do need to have your prayer on always, at all times. Your protect from magic needs to be on at all times. If not, this method will not work. And if you don't have a forward-seeking weapon like a magic short bow or a crossbow, this method will not work either. So this is actually a perfect spot. The spider is right behind these 4 tiles, and that's exactly. So you pretty much want the spider to be right behind the tiles, and then once it's aggroed onto you, that's when you attack it. So I'll do a test method. So I'm going to protect from magic. I'm going to stand in my spot. I'm going to wait until he sees me right there, and then I'm going to attack it. So the timing's going to be a little strange, and I'll see if I can do multiple clips over, but it's pretty simple. Once Venenatis sees you, you have like a half of a game tick to react, attack it, and then pretty much the safe spot is already done. So in between attacks, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to super range right here. If you're not attacking Venenatis or your prayer is not on, the boss will actually start attacking you like normal, and the safe spot will be ruined. So in between attacks, as you can see, my prayer is dropping a little bit right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sip of restore right after I shoot my arrow. So I'm pretty much going to take a sip of restore the second that I shoot my arrow, right about now. And then I quickly attack the boss, and we're good to go. And this method is actually even better when you can use your cannon. So right after you attack, click your cannon once, hit back onto the Venenatis, and you're good to go. So pretty much after your arrow is shot, you can pretty much just touch the cannon one time, click back to Venenatis, and your cannon will be activated. And this is pretty much it. It's super simple, and I'll show you guys a lot more kill count just to show you guys how easy this is. But it's very simple. It's not hard at all, and hopefully you guys can get your own pet as well. I'm still hunting it. Like I said, I'm almost at that 400 KC. Hopefully I get a drop pretty soon, but let's see. Hold on. And I know there's other methods out there that you can stand in, you know, the southern spots, you know, in single way combat. You could do that. I'm also a man of, you know, this is like, these kills are pretty quick. I don't think it's necessary. I've done it enough times where I've messed up the safe spot just because I haven't been able to stand in the right spot, or I actually don't attack when I need to, so it's not really worth it. So pretty much after you kill the boss, all you're going to do is you're going to empty it. You're going to empty your cannon, because this is important. If you don't empty your cannon will attack Venenatis, and it will ruin the safe spotting method. Once you empty it, use your cannonballs on the cannon. Don't click fire yet. Stand back in the safe spot. Turn on your protect from magic. You're going to wait until Venenatis attacks you. Boom, it sees me. I attack it. Boom, safe spot activated. There's nothing else that needs to be done. So in this game tick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sip of my ranging potion right now. So I took a sip of ranging potion. I attacked Venenatis again. I see my prayers dropping, so I'm going to sip a restore right after I shoot my arrow right now. I click back into Venenatis, and we're good. And the final thing is activating our cannon right now. Clicking it once. Click back over here. See, high levels, they're not bothering me. Don't have to worry about that. And now my cannon is activated. Not to mention, it's actually shooting 2 cannonballs at the same exact game tick. So I'm actually destroying. You see this? You see how fast this is? 2 cannonballs. It's like having an extra helper right here that's just dealing a ton of damage. Not to mention the crossbow's hitting pretty hard as it is. This kill took about, what, 20-25 seconds at most. So this is the ideal method that every peer should be utilizing. It's super simple. Highly recommend. I know with the Wilderness rework coming out pretty soon, everybody's pretty much trying to get their hands on the pet before nobody knows of the changes or anything. So this is really important to get as most amount of kills as possible per hour. So again, after this, you pretty much want to empty your cannon right here. You're going to see it stop. Once it stops, boom. Once you see it stopped, load up your cannon with more cannonballs. Pretty much empty right there. Put on your protect from magic. We're gonna wait, and it sees me. I attack it. Boom! Every single time. Again, we're gonna do the same thing. So once we're attacking it, we're gonna wait till we shoot our arrow, and we took a sip of ranging pot. Attack Venenatis, so now he's good. We're gonna look at our cannon. We're gonna turn that on. Cannon's on. Attacking Venenatis, and we're good to go. Then lastly, my prayer is dropping a little bit right now. I'm gonna take a sip of restore. Right about once I shoot my arrow right now, and we're good to go. If your cannon is running really low on cannonballs, all you need to do is, the easiest way I found is click the cannonballs right here, wait until you shoot, and then you're loaded back up. If you decide to click fire, it will load up your cannon, but it's going to be a lot slower. So I highly recommend if you're trying to load your cannon, click on the cannonball and simply just do it after you shoot your arrow, right about now, and you're back up all the way. Make sure you're always clicking back to Venenatis. Make sure your prayer is always on, and make sure you have a 4-tick weapon, and you're pretty much good to go to kill Venenatis for as many kills as possible. I mean, we're getting a good amount of kills per hour. Again, see your prayer is dropping, so we're gonna take a sip of restore right now, and we're good to go. That's pretty much it. And you know, you guys can bring a looting bag. I don't really bring a looting bag because if I have that much loot, I'm just gonna bank, because I'm that type of person that doesn't want to die with like 1 mil worth of items. But that's just me. So again, we emptied the cannon. We're gonna load the cannon back up to be 30. We're not gonna activate it yet until we see Venenatis. I see my prayer is just a little bit low, so I'm gonna take a sip. I'm gonna turn on my protect from magic. All right, so that's a perfect example. It actually spawned a little bit northeast. So I'm gonna wait until it looks at me. Once it looks at me, that's when I can attack it. So let's see if I can get the timing right. It's a little bit harder, but we'll see if we can get it. Typically, it's really easy every single time it respawns, but sometimes, occasionally, we'll get the respawn where it's not always in the same spot we need it to be, and it's gonna start roaming right here. But the second that you see it sees you, not when it hits the tile, the second that it notices you, you have to be really quick, right? Hold on, let's see if we'll do it. I was a little bit slow on that. So I was about maybe like 1 game tick away. So what I typically do is I unaggro from the boss. I run all the way west. Once you run past this tree right here, all the way back to your first safe spot tile and stand there, you know, probably just take a sip of restore. Before we go out, we're going to wait until Venenatis passes this line right here. Good. So we're going to put our protect from magic on. Let's see what happens. But like I said, I pretty much lured it on that one perfectly. So in between shots, I'm going to take a sip of range right now. So my range, now I'm boosted up all the way to 107 because I only have 94 range. I'm going to turn on my cannon right now. Attack Venenatis. And again, that cannon is shooting 2 cannonballs. So you have a chance potentially hitting 2 30s, because the max a cannon can hit is a 30. And if you can shoot twice, it can hit a 30-30. So that's actually really ideal for being able to kill this really quickly. And of course, my prayer is dropping a little bit, so I'm going to take a sip of restore. So that's pretty much it. Now, if you do get PK'd by PKers, there are actually green dragons all the way southeast of here, actually. So if you start getting attacked from anybody, you can box against the dragons. Boxing as in just removing your weapon and just start kicking the dragons with a protect from magic on. So for example, if there are PKers out here and they're starting to attack me, all I would do is I could actually just teleport immediately. Since I'm in 27 wild, I can immediately teleport away, and you know, that would be it. But if they happen to catch a TB on me, all I would do is run to singles, which is right over here. I wouldn't run south. I would wait until I'm in singles right over here. So I'd run a little bit east and then I'd run south. Why? Because there's green dragons. And what you can do is you can actually just attack you can have the PK or whoever's on you maybe get attacked by the dragons, and then maybe you can box one or just wait at the TB down there as well. So there's different options if you get attacked with PKers, but this is like the best spot to be able to kill Venenatis. It's like the easiest one, I think, in my opinion. So what I'm going to do now is actually just going to record myself really quick of just doing a good amount of kills, so you guys can see in different variations of how I kill Venenatis really easy. It's not that bad. Like I said, you know, once Venenatis sees you, you pretty much click onto it. As long as you have your protect from magic always on, as long as you have a 4-ticking weapon like a crossbow, a magic short bow. I don't really know if like, you know, rune knives or, you know, will be able to reach it in that particular safe spot, but that's an option as well. But yeah, it's not that bad, especially for peers. This is a really good method for a lot of you guys who've never done it before, or have always wanted to, or, you know, now realize the wilderness rework is coming out and you guys have yet to try it out. Highly recommend, try this method. You're gonna get the most amount of kills per hour. I'd say out of all the wilderness bosses, this is the one boss that's super easy to kill. And if you're low leveled with access to 1500 total worlds, 1250s, 1750, I highly recommend to go to those worlds. I don't really see a whole lot of pures out here PKing, or maybe I'll see a few med levels, but it's not that bad. Like I said, it's pretty simple. It's pretty easy, and the banking method is super fast. You're in 27 wild. It's a one-click telly away, and if you happen to get attacked by PKers, all I would recommend is just run south, tank against some green dragons until the TB's worn off, or just, you know, if you want to attack back, that's up to you. I'm not really one to always attack back. It's just a waste of resources, and as well as some extra space in my inventory. So I always just tanked out the TB and just teleported away and just restarted. But highly recommend, if you guys haven't yet to try Venenatis, please do. This is probably one of the easiest ways to kill it. And again, this is the updated 2021 guide for all peers out there who have never attempted it. Go ahead, bring out your cannon, try a crossbow out. I highly recommend, a lot of you guys who have never tried the boss out or have never gone for the pet, I highly recommend to do so. Not to mention, the boss does drop 2 really good items, one being the Onyx Bolt Tips, which are about 500k, and then the Grimy Snapdragons, which are about 800 to 900k depending on the day or the week. I think right now they're 800k for a stack of 100, so that's huge. That's really good money, and I'd say it drops it infrequently. Really quick, I'm actually going to show you guys my loot thus far. All right, so this is pretty much for the more notable drops that I've received recently. I did unfortunately sell the Grimy Snapdragon, but that was about 2.4 mil. I've only gotten about 3 of those drops within about 400 KC, but still pretty good considering the other drops. So quickly price check all the loot I've gotten from 400 KC. So in about 400 KC, like I said, the 2.4 mil is calculating for the Grimy Snapdragons I've gotten. But I mean, a grand total of almost 12.2 mil I've received in just 400 kill count. So you can only imagine, if I decide to do this even longer, I'll be able to get much better drop. Not to mention, I've also received Dragon Pickaxe drops from this boss, as well as the ring as well. I don't think it's really worth a whole lot. I think it's the treasonous ring, which is just about 300k, which is not a whole lot of money, but you can definitely make a ton of money on this boss. It's super simple to kill, and I highly encourage you guys, if you haven't already tried it out, give it a try, give it a go. You might get lucky with the pet, if not a really good drop over at Venenatis. So that'll just about do it for today's episode. I know you guys are more used to having me upload videos on progress and stuff like that, but this is one of the more unique things that, when I found out the method, when I found out how unique it was to actually, you know, hunt this boss with a cannon, with a crossbow, you know, efficiently for peers, I hit the recorder and I made sure that I made a video for you guys. For all the peers out there, I just was scrolling through YouTube and I just wasn't seeing a good enough guide out there that just was good enough to showcase for the masses. So here is an up-to-date 2021 guide for anyone who's hunting Venenatis. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Please make sure to hit that like button. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with all the latest progress on this account. And comment anything below that you want to see in my next video. I really do read all the comments that you guys post on my channel. I really do appreciate it. And as a little sneak peek, boys, I actually have a lot more stuff that I've been working in the background that I'm so excited to share with you guys. Stay tuned for next episode. I'm not going to share too much about it, but it's definitely related to deep wild PKing, so stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and of course, I'll catch you guys on the next one.